Hey guys, hey, Rob Cushing here from the BetterClaim.com music blog. How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Um, Wanted to get this video out to you as a really kind of referencing off an older blog post I made back in July. But I thought it really relevant because this kind of keeps coming up again and again. So before I start, as always, if you find this video of value, I definitely want to hear from you. I have my contact info below. Feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear from you, okay? Any feedback you have, any questions you have about what it is, what I do, etc. The second thing is I also have a link to the blog post I'm talking about embedded within the description of this video right below, okay? So you can follow along and read from there. So the title of the blog post and this video is 10 Things That Successful Musicians Never Do Again. And I have to thank Dr. Henry Cloud and a recent article that he did in Success Magazine as kind of the inspiration for that blog post. And I'll start off with a quote by him. And the quote is, "We all make mistakes, but the people who thrive from their mistakes are the successful ones." Okay? So let me just kind of rub back to us what this whole post is about in this video. Okay? I had been reading this book by a psychologist named Dr. Henry Cloud, and the book is called Never Go Back, 10 Things You'll Never Do Again, right? Which I highly recommend reading, by the way. And in this, like some other recent books I've been reading, I'm finding a lot of parallels between this and the music world. There are probably some out there who would say that, we by our very nature as musicians are probably more in need of a psychologist in the first place than most others, but that's okay. Look, it basically boils down to this. Courtesy of that recent article that Dr. Cloud did in his Success magazine, right? He references where he's discovered certain awakenings, as he calls them, that people have, and in anything they do. And once they have these awakenings, they never go back to the old way of doing things, okay? And why would they? They're not working, right? So I thought I might share this with you, as a lot of you watching this and reading the blog post are musicians that are trying to make a name for yourself in the music biz. Perhaps you're trying to get your band going, but you seem to be spinning your wheels, not moving. You're trying to get your record label off the ground, but you seem to be running at 120 miles an hour, going nowhere. Maybe your recording studio is having a hard time building clientele list. I mean, the answer may not lie in what you're trying to do, but what you should no longer be doing, okay? So to parallel Dr. Cloud's findings on what he has specified as the 10 doorways of learning that successful people go through and never return to mediocrity again, here are those doorways from a music world standpoint. But you can apply these to anything you do, really. So let's start off. As we talked about earlier, 10 things that successful musicians never do again. Number one, they never return to what hasn't worked. So whether it's a job you've had or a broken relationship in your band or a business that ended for a good reason, you should never go back to that same thing expecting different results without something being different. So don't return to what hasn't worked. Okay, that's number one. Number two, don't do something that requires you to be something you're not, okay? If you're pursuing something in music or your business, you should be asking yourself why you're doing it, right? Ask if it's something you're suited for, or does it fit you? Is it something you could sustain? If you answer no to at least one of these, you need to stop what you're doing and take a good long look at it, unless it's something extremely vital, okay? So to recap, number two, don't do something that requires you to be something you're not, all right? Number three, don't try to change someone else, okay? When you're able to recognize that you can't force someone into doing something against your will, you give that person or entity the freedom of free will, and thereby having them deal with the consequences, both good and bad. As Dr. Cloud states, this is the way to finding your own freedom as well, okay? So number three, don't try to change someone else. Number four, don't believe you have to please everybody, okay? If you recall, I did a prior article, a prior video where I said that if you try to market to everybody, you're going to end up marketing no one, You recall this? Okay, if you've seen the video. That holds true here. Okay, once you accept this fact, your focus changes, you gain greater purpose, and you work solely on trying only to please the target market that matters. Okay, so recap number 4, don't believe you have to please everybody. All right, number 5, don't stay within a short-term comfortable area and lose out on long-term benefit. Okay, but what that means is like uh, anyone in success, musician, what have you, is going to tell you that real success requires small periods of painful and rigorous action. Okay, and anybody who's successful has been a musician knows this, and they're okay with this. Okay, because they know that this is an excruciating crunch period that's going to get them to the long-term goals they want. All right, and as I stated before, this is absolutely true in anything. This is what sets apart those who succeed from those who don't. So recap number 5, don't stay within a short-term comfortable area in order that you lose out on long-term benefit, okay? Number 6, don't place explicit trust in a person or entity that appears perfect, all right? It's human nature to be attracted by something or someone that's larger than life, or it seems that way. Or it seems like that, like they have this point of perfection about them. It's okay. It's a sign that we're always looking for perfection, but make a point to chase after people who are awesome at what they do, or people or labels, other companies that excel at their specialty. But by the same token, and I say this lightly because you should take a deep, long look at something or someone before making this judgment, okay? Nothing is perfect. Everything is flaws. And that's okay because that's life. That's how things are. Nothing is perfect. That doesn't mean to automatically disqualify anything not perfect, but just know what you may be getting into. Okay, so to recap number 6, don't place explicit trust in a person or entity that appears perfect. Okay? Number 7, and I've touched on this before, you got to focus on the big picture. All right, successful musicians, successful entrepreneurs exceed because they constantly have their sights set on the big picture. If you recall, I just did a recent video on a blog post as well that I did a Bruce Lee quote about the finger pointing to the moon. All right, no one thing, no one goal is the entire story. Successful people are mindful of this each day, every day. Okay, so number 7, focus on the big picture. That's what you want to be doing. Number 8, always be doing your due diligence. Okay, like I mentioned in back on number 6, you don't want to place explicit trust in a person or entity that appears perfect. I mean, anything you approach you should do so by taking a deep, detailed view. And sometimes it's okay, and it's a great learning experience to dive in without dipping your toe in the water. But due diligence is absolutely key. Okay, and it's absolutely key to finding out what exactly any benefits or challenges you have ahead of you. Okay, so to recap on number 8, always do your due diligence. Okay, and number 9, don't see yourself as a victim. Okay, this is another huge determination of what sets successful musicians apart from others who don't succeed. Okay, and that's the ability to constantly ask what part they're playing in any given role. Okay, remember, life does not happen to you, you happen to it. All right, so don't see yourself as a victim. You, as they say, it is not the direction of the wind that determines your course. It is the set of your sail. All right, and finally, number 10, don't have a negative mindset. Okay, being happy and fulfilled with where you are and where you're going has almost nothing to do with circumstances outside of yourself. And it's by maintaining and continuing to maintain a positive mindset that helps you to modify those external circumstances to achieve that success you're looking for. Okay, and the opposite also holds true, where like those who have a negative mindset and trying to chase success are still going to find they fail because they're repeating the same mistakes. Okay, so always maintain a positive mindset. Okay, so those are the 10 things that successful musicians strive not to do again. Okay, now look, excuse me, we're all human. We all make mistakes, even those we idolize. But what sets successful people apart from others is the ability to embrace our pain, make it a part of your product and your pride, and move past it. Learn from it. It's okay to mess up, but messing up twice the same way, uh, it's something you can entirely control. And Dr. Cloud also had a really another cool quote, and this is it: "We don't need new ways to fail. The old ones are working just fine." Okay, so take a good hard look at what you're doing. Okay, and if it's not working for you, change it. As they say, insanity is the act of doing the same thing every day, expecting a different result. Okay, so I got a few action items for you to take away from this. All right. Number one, pick up the book by Dr. Henry Cloud. It's called Never Go Back: 10 Things You'll Never Do Again. Okay. You can pick it up at Amazon or Barnes and Noble, whatever. Actually, if you message me, um, get back to me on this video. There's actually a really cool way I can help you to get a discount on that book through Barnes and Noble, and also like any other items you buy online already, including music gear from Guitar Center, electronics at Best Buy, clothes from like Sears and Nordstrom, that type of thing. I can help you get some instant cash back on this. Okay. So anyway, you want to pick up that book. More on that a bit. So you want to pick up that book by Dr. Henry Cloud, Never Go Back: 10 Things You'll Never Do Again. And you'll get some great advice and information on not just how to succeed, but how to keep from failing. Okay. So here's a few action items. Number one, pick up that book. Number two, um, check out definitely check out the system that we've got in place that has made such a huge impact on my life and my ability to get my freedom of time back and be able to spend it doing music and doing things like this because I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy writing this stuff. I enjoy touching base with you and providing value to you. So, and all that's possible, and being able to, actually have some decent income out of this, and results may vary, um, is to check out my link at www.plugplayandlive.com. You can also use www.stepuponstage.com and check that out. Okay, it's a really cool, proven, automated, done for you system that is like really help myself and tons of other musicians and people in the music business be able to promote what they're promoting: music, recording services, record label management services, that type of thing. Being able to figure out how to do that, increase your presence online, get a huge fan base, and potentially make some great money at it too. Okay, so once again, plugplayandlive.com or stepuponstage.com. All right. One last thing before I let you go. I mentioned before, if you want a really cool, now, not just that, we're always looking for cool stuff online. It's stuff we normally get online anyway, whether it's music gear from Guitar Center, whether, like I said, it's clothes from Nordstrom's, Old Navy, The Gap, Hot Topic, that type of thing, or electronics from Best Buy. If you're looking to book travel for your tour, like through Travelocity or Orbitz, Hotels.com, that type of thing, there's actually a way you could do all that stuff you're going to buy anyway from the places you're already buying online anyway, and get cash back. You can actually do this for free. Okay, so get back to me on this video. You can actually you can email me at robcushing@gmail.com. I'm actually going to drop my personal email for you guys, okay, on this, robcushing@gmail.com, okay? I have my contact info below, actually. You can get back to me on that. I'm going to hook you up, okay? Some amazing stuff going on. It's actually mind-blowing. So with that, once again, my name is Rob Cushing with thebetterclaim.com music blog. I hope you found this information of value. Take it, run with it, go with the action items I gave you. Any questions you got, I'm here to serve you guys. I'm here to help, and I would love to hear from you. All right, with that, take care.